don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman, because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Do you need something? Hello, hold on one second. We're having some kind of meltdown. Hello? I don't know what's going on. Welcome. Stand by 1 second. We've got some rather strange high weirdness going on. And okay, sorry about that. Sorry about the delay. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 503rd episode of the Political Spotlight. I am your host, Kristopher H. Bilbrey. It's good to be with you. Thank you for tuning in. Whether you're here live or via replay in the future, thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome. It is just 10 after 9 Eastern, 9:10 Eastern on Thursday, August 7th. Got a headache. Can't wait to be done with this episode. Get a couple days off and get a rest. It's been crazy, crazy news day. Crazy things going on politically. Really nuts. Everything that's going on politically. We still had garage door drama today. I think that's just going to be a never-ending thing. We won't technically be done with the garage doors until next Tuesday. So we got one of them done, and we've got another one. We've got to wait on the guys to come. It's just been a whole big thing. I'm not feeling the best, so we're going to try to bang through this, get through. I've got 4 really big topics to talk to you about, and they really just can't wait till Sunday. So I'm going to try to bang through them, and if we get done in 20 minutes, great. If we're on here for an hour, great. Whatever the deal is, as quickly as we can get through them. Please smash that like button if you would. I love that title, and I'm going to pass that along. I don't know if that's the name of a title or if that's just what you're calling tonight. I don't know, but I think that's kind of a neat title. I'm going to pass that along to my surprise co-host for the other show. I'll let you guys know. But okay, smash that like button if you will. We could definitely use that. The more thumbs that you give me, the better I'll feel. You know, it's kind of like one of those things. If you give me 10 thumbs right now, your thumbs will make me feel better. 20 thumbs, I'll be feeling even better. So, all right, let's get straight into this so we can get this taken care of and get out of here. So it's been a day. We've got some breaking news, breaking news. And it's kind of breaking and kind of not. I mean, it happened this morning, but this is the first time I'm getting a chance to talk to you about it. So it's breaking in our world. Alva says he's going to have to listen into the Kendall and Casey show tomorrow. Yeah, I might tell everybody to tune in tomorrow and take a listen to what they'll be talking about. It'll be interesting to see how they deal with this, because we have really big news coming out of the Lieutenant Governor's office. And this is a big deal. Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith's communications director resigns. Now, I don't know if you all are aware of what that means or why that's a big deal. It's honestly not a big deal in regular, like, hell, Dan Ridenhour's had 5 communications directors. Okay. He goes through communications directors like some people go through underwear. One or two a year. But the reason it's a big deal for the lieutenant governor is until this morning, his communications director was none other than Mr. Jim Kehoe. And while that might not mean anything to really any of you, there wouldn't be a reason why that name would matter to you. Jim Kehoe is the husband of the better half of the Kendall and Casey show, Casey Daniels. Her husband is Jim Kehoe. Now, back when this first announced, I thought it was a horrible idea. I've always thought it was a horrible idea. I never thought it was a good idea. And while we thought that, like, Rob would give, like, would tiptoe around Micah because they were friends, Rob's done a really good job. When Micah was doing well and talking and communicating, Rob would talk to him. As soon as Micah started going left, going right, just doing crazy crap, Rob started calling him out, and it was a big deal. And while Casey's been there, she's always been kind of reserved. But now that Jim, this is her husband, Jim Kehoe, less than a year into the term, I mean, let's be honest. We're just at 8 months. He has quit. Now, the news comes once again from Tom Lobianco and Lobianca. I don't know which way he likes to. I don't know how he likes to say it, but whatever. The news comes from him yet again. Breaking news: Lieutenant Governor spokesman quits amid deepfake probe, per sources. Communications Director James Kehoe quits office as prosecutor looks into staff viewing deepfake of lawmaker's wife. People familiar with the office tell Tom at 24 Site News. Communications Director for the Indiana Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith quit Thursday morning as the Indianapolis prosecutor continues its investigation of the topless deepfake viewed in their state house office, according to multiple people familiar with the departure. James Kehoe, who was not involved in the viewing of the deepfake, had nothing to do with this, per sources, left after growing frustrations about the management of the office, which built to a head this week as Beckwith repeatedly commented publicly on the deepfake scandal, which has embroiled the Indiana State House, according to people who spoke with 24 Site News on the condition of anonymity. Kehoe did not immediately respond to multiple requests for comments Thursday. A voice message with Beckwith was left by 24 Site News seeking comment. Beckwith has repeatedly denied the deepfake video, and said that it was not watched in his office. He stated that he conducted an internal investigation 24 hours after the news broke that found no evidence of the deepfake. Now, I too have reached out to the lieutenant governor and asked, where did Jim go? Why is Jim going? Why is this happening? Where's he gone? And I've not received a response back. So we'll keep you posted on that. I do not have any personal connection to James Kehoe, so I don't have a way specifically to reach out to him. I am connected to other sources within Micah's office, and I have reached out, and one of them has stated, yes, Jim is gone. So that's the deal. Now, I got to tell you, I think this is bad. I think this is bad not only for Micah and his office, but I think it's bad for the entire administration. And I'm going to tell you, I think that Jim being there kept Rob just even the slightest bit in check. Now that Jim is gone, that's gone. I think Kendall and Casey are going to be off the hinges with the lieutenant governor and the office when it's needed, which pretty much it's needed always. Okay. But yeah, I think this is going to be interesting to see how this plays out. I think that this is kind of like the thing. And, Micah didn't have to do this. Micah could have got out in front of this and said next to nothing and still done a better job than what he's done. Now, I know that there are a couple other shows like ours that are out there saying, "Oh, there's nothing to this. There's no there, is doesn't mean is, and this is all nasty rumor that's been started by the establishment to bring down Micah." Listen, while I absolutely agree that there is an establishment that does do nasty things inside the Republican Party, Micah doesn't need help bringing himself down. Whoa, what, Brad? No, we've talked about this before, bro. You know this. Jim Kehoe, the communications director for Micah Beckwith, is Casey Daniels' husband. We've talked about that before. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, whatever little tether of trying to remain kind of cool or have some kind of semblance of playing nice, that is now severed. It's gone. So it'll be interesting to see. Me personally, I never cared about that. Matter of fact, not only did I not care and did I go hard on them and hard on Jim and whatever, I had a major issue with Casey because of it. I felt that Casey, because of that, it didn't allow her to speak out against Brad. I love it. Again, we'll have to give Brad an honest. See, that's normally the job that Kate does. Kate's like, and now wait a minute, why does it matter? Because she knows she just wants everyone else to be sure that they know too. So good looking out, Brad. Yeah, that's very true. So it'll be interesting. There's no more news on this. I've reached out to a source within Micah's office, and I was told, yes, he is gone. I believe Tom. I believe everything he's writing. I know, matter of fact, the program that Brad is associated with, Mouthwash, I know they did a show tonight, or maybe just John did a show. And I think John's coming from the point of view of like, no, there's nothing to see here. This is just an evil plot by the Republicans. And look, there are some, as a conservative, I'm telling you, there is an evil Republican cabal, the establishment that does do underhanded and crazy shit. That being said, Micah is fully capable, and it is possible that Micah can and will, more than likely, bring his own ship down. He does not need help. I love my nephew. Hey, I was going to text you today. If you got some time sometime coming up, stop out by my grandparents if you catch my drift. Hey, just I don't want to make any kind of drug deals on the air or anything, but nephew, my grandparents have some grass for you. We're both going to get arrested, and I'm just making a stupid joke. Okay, so yeah, that's big breaking news straight out of the gate. So nothing more on that yet. I'm sure we'll have a lot more to talk about either tomorrow or when we come back Sunday. Hopefully we won't be on tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have our regular Friday and Saturday off. Now, it's possible some big shit could kick off and we might have to do a show either Friday or Saturday, but I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted. So that's the Lieutenant Governor news. Hey, really quickly, also, I do want to put this out there, and I didn't even make a statement about this. I did say last night on the show, I did say that the Blackford County Sheriff's Office and I were kind of at odds because they have not responded. And so then at 4 a.m., I put out this statement. The Blackford County Sheriff's Office and the county government there as a whole needs to get its stuff together. Their slip is showing. The Political Spotlight filed an Access to Public Records Act request with the Sheriff's Department and the county on July 14th, 2025. And as of Thursday, August 7th, 2025, they have failed to reply even with a response email, phone call, or text message. They are currently in violation of the Indiana public access laws, and they need to get compliant soon. If anyone out there knows someone who knows someone, it wouldn't hurt to mention something to someone, you know? I'll come right back to that. All they need to do, highlight that if you can, Kate, or start or whatever. All they need to do at this point is open up the line of communication. So again, the Blackford County Department, Sheriff's Department, and or anyone from the county government needs to contact me, Kristopher H. Bilbrey, host of the Political Spotlight, at their earliest convenience. I can be contacted one of the following methods, and I gave my phone, my email, the show email, and my Facebook information. But what cannot continue is radio silence. I put that out. And then this morning at roughly 7 a.m., 6:35, I got contacted by the sheriff on Facebook, Jim Heflin, and the sheriff said, just a heads up, I have responded to your email with a total of 4 emails now. Once on the 17th and a total of 3 emails yesterday. I thought, interesting. So let me be very clear on what I did, and I talked to the sheriff about this. I I only delete junk mail in my personal email. I do not delete things in the show email. I went back through my but when I delete mail and put it into the trash can, I have my trash can set up to where it doesn't permanently delete mails for like 180 days. It takes 180 days before it finally wipes it out. I went back through my private email and through the show email, and we did not receive an email from the sheriff or from Blackford County on July 17th. It just didn't happen. I believe him wholeheartedly that he sent something or he typed something or he thought he sent it, but it did not get to us. Now, I will give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm not because he's reaching out to me now. That's all that matters. And this, of course, is in reference to the murder, the shooting up there at that big party. We talked about this when it first happened. So I did, however, look back, and yesterday at 8:01 p.m., I emailed him. I emailed him and the clerk. At 8:07, he responded, so he was pretty quick to it. So we are in lockstep now. We've communicated, and I've posted this comment several different places. He then emailed me back later and said, hey, I have responded to you, and I'm wondering why this post is still up that you made, and, it's still kind of throwing shade our way, what's going on. And I told him, for transparency's sake, like, I could go through and delete it, but I don't like doing that. When I make a post, I don't delete posts. I think in the last 10 years, I've deleted like 2 Facebook posts, and there's various reasons why I did it, but I don't delete things. What I do is I'll edit them to make the edit make sense, or to make something make sense, but I don't delete. To me, that's underhanded. So what I did was I made an edit, which says to the post, edit, Blackford County Sheriff James Heflin reached out to me this morning, Thursday, August 7th, and acknowledged the records request, which means they are now compliant within the law. So that's what I did. I'm going to say he did respond to me in one blast. He sent me 3 emails last night, but they were basically all connected. And so he did respond last night. He was quick on the ball. We'll erase everything that's happened in the past, in the mind, and we'll move forward from here. They did just recently make an arrest. They just made an arrest. So a couple days after the shooting, they had made a couple of arrests. But what they had not said in the paper was that the arrest was not the trigger man. They had not arrested the trigger man. Well, now they officially have the trigger man. Yesterday, it was released that a Richmond man charged with the murder in Blackford County slaying had been picked up. A Richmond man has been charged with murder in the shooting death of a Blackford County resident. Deontay Edwards Gabbard, 23, was arrested on Tuesday, August 5th by members of the Richmond Police Department SWAT team at an apartment complex in that city. According to a release by Blackford County Prosecutor Jolie Freiberger and Sheriff Jim Heflin, Gabbard has also been charged with unlawful possession of a firearm by a serious violent felon, intimidation with a deadly weapon, and 2 counts of pointing a firearm. The charges apparently stem from the June 29th slaying of Michael Wayne Norris, 21, who was fatally shot during what was described as a large party southeast of Hartford City. The homicide took place outside a home in the 2200 block of South Blackford County Road 500 East. Gabbard was being held Wednesday at the Wayne County Jail and has been accused of parole violations in that county as well. The prosecutor and the sheriff said an investigation spanning more than 5 weeks had resulted in 12 arrests and 9 firearms being removed from the streets. The prosecutor and sheriff said their release also serves as a response to the numerous false statements rumors, and misinformation that have circulated on social media over the past several weeks. Let us be clear, this case has involved intense, coordinated efforts across multiple jurisdictions. Every action we've taken guided by facts, evidence, and pursuit of justice. The spread of unverified false information does a disservice to the victims, their families, and law enforcement professionals working tirelessly behind the scenes. The release said the agencies involved in finding Gabbard included the Hartford City, Richmond, Muncie, Cincinnati, Marion Police Departments, Sheriff's Departments, Wayne County and Delaware County, Indiana State Police, and the U.S. Marshal Service. Gabbard has a Wayne County conviction for aiding, inducing, or causing burglary and carrying a handgun without a license. So I just want to say, we've said very little about this. The only thing that we've ever talked about and said was strange was the fact that the coroner was not notified of the death until he actually called dispatch about 6 hours later after lots of people had trampled through the death scene. So I find that odd. I said that the questions have to be asked, questions have to be answered, and we've got to find out why that happened. I still haven't found out why that happened. And the coroner's office has been very cooperative this whole time. It's the sheriff's department that I've not heard from, but we've heard from them now, and we're moving forward, so I'll keep you guys posted on what goes on there. Okay. Now, moving on to the next story. Disciplinary charges filed against Randolph Superior Court Judge Dale Arnett. This is something that we've been following for months. I also talked about this months ago, and we're going to get to the story in just 1 second, but I do want to go back and hit this starred comment. David Williams said, "Don't you find it funny, Chris, that the state GOP bashed Rainwater for his transgressions, and it's been none but drama in the GOP control since 2025. Yeah, I find that beyond hilarious because that's how it always is. That's what goes on. Even if you want to say like Rainwater's the right guy at the wrong time, or the right guy in the wrong situation. Like, Rainwater is a smart individual, and I love Don. There are issues about the fact that, like, maybe he didn't have the team around him that he needed or whatever to do it. Like, he had a better team in 2020 than he had in 2024. I'm not going to lie about that. I mean, that is very true. And I like Don. I'll support Don from now until, whenever he runs. If he runs again, maybe he won't. I'll support the people he supports. I like Don. I respect Don, and I count Don as a friend. But to go after him as hard as they did, and then to put up the jokers that they've put up, it's just completely laughable. It's beyond nuts. So that's that. And before we move on, yeah, Admiral Eric, it was a very odd situation. Okay, now moving on to this Randolph County disciplinary deal in Randolph County here. The Indiana Commission on Judicial Qualifications has filed misconduct allegations against Randolph Superior Court Judge Dale Arnett. In a news release issued Tuesday, August 5th, the commission accused Arnett of demonstrating an inability to perform judicial and administrative duties diligently, and of failing to adequately supervise his office staff. The commission, which investigates allegations of ethical misconduct by Hoosier judges, on Tuesday filed 11 misconduct charges against Arnett, who was elected to judge's office in 2020. He is accused of failing to schedule hearings in criminal cases in a timely manner, resulting in defendants remaining in the Randolph County Jail for extended periods of time. The complaint against Arnett referred to 27 cases where defendants were held in the Randolph County Jail for extended periods, ranging anywhere from 15 days to 227 days. That's big. That's very big. Because initial hearings had not been scheduled in their cases. That's the reason. People were stuck in jail because initial hearings had not been charged. Arnett is also accused of failing to timely and properly take judicial action in criminal cases, leading to delays that resulted in some cases being dismissed for failure to adhere to speedy trial deadlines. According to the commission's complaint, the Randolph Superior Court judge was put on notice by multiple officials about missing court orders and significant delays, but he did not undertake any efforts to address the issues until he was notified that he was being investigated by the state panel. The commission alleges Arnett ordered some criminal defendants released on their own recognizance, but then required them to post bonds. He then did not monitor any of the court-ordered payments, the commission members wrote. Arnett is also accused of failing to timely and properly take action in civil cases, leading to significant delays in the progression of cases, including cases involving children, minors. According to the commission's complaint, multiple individuals include those from Randolph County Circuit Court and Randolph County's Prosecutor's Office, Clerk's Office, and Probation Office, and area attorneys in 2024 expressed concern to state officials about how Randolph Superior Court cases were being handled. Listen, I got to tell you, the fact that people were stuck in jail for 227 days because of an improper filing is to me, I think that could be a massive, massive lawsuit against the county. The complaint also alleges that court records have not been properly maintained and updated. Arnett has not been on the Superior Court bench since April when he took a leave of absence. At that time, the Supreme Court appointed Kimberly Dowling, former Delaware County Circuit Court 2 judge and now senior judge, to serve in Randolph County Court on a temporary basis. The Supreme Court will decide whether judicial misconduct took place. It has the option of dismissing the commission's charges or appointing a panel of judges to conduct a public hearing. Sanctions that could be imposed range from reprimand and permanent ban on holding a judicial office. According to the news release, Arnett is being represented by Muncie attorney Donald McClellan. All right. This is, I don't even almost know what to say about this. So, I'm going to start by saying this. I have always had a good relationship with Dale Arnett. I have always liked Dale Arnett as a man, as a person, as a political thinker, as someone who has considered himself a constitutionalist, a libertarian. These charges do not jive with the man that I know. The man that I know would never have wanted this to happen. Like anybody else, he is innocent of these charges until he is found guilty. He has a chance to explain himself and to offer reason, and I don't know what the reason is. I mean, to cause someone to be held in jail for 200 and that's basically a year, over half a year, 227 days because they just didn't file an initial hearing. That is a major, major issue. Now, I want to hear his side. I want to hear what he says. And I from my sources, I've heard he is filing a response. He doesn't have to file a response to this. He can and he should, but he does not have to. The law states that he does not have to. But it, in my opinion, would be in his best interest to do so. I would like to hear what's going on here. Like everybody, I feel like we should give him the benefit of the doubt while also saying the allegations against him are serious and they have had implications against other people. They said, 27 instances where his actions or his court's actions have caused 27 people to remain in jail for longer than they needed to, from anywhere between 15 days, which is a lot, up to 227 days. Okay. I don't know. Well, Admiral Eric, from what I'm hearing, the prosecutor's office and the clerk's office and other attorneys were responsible for getting this investigation started. And Stumblefoot, you're right. You are 100% right. So I don't know. I will tell you, if anybody thinks that this is all there is in the world of judicial misconduct, you are sadly mistaken. There are a lot of other issues all over the place that need to be looked at. So, I think it's a good thing to look very, very keenly at those that hold the kind of power that judges hold. Look and make sure they're doing the right thing, that they're not getting complacent or they're not getting too hardened. I hate to hear this. I don't know really what else to say. We'll follow it. I do have all of the actual filings. I received those. They're public documents, and I requested them, and I was able to get access to the Supreme Court filings. I have not went through them because there's just been so much going on. I will go through them, and maybe we can go through them at a later date. But this is a serious situation. It will have to be dealt with. And, listen, I'm just going to say it like this. If your wife is accused of doing something bad, you might not like what she's done. You might be ashamed at what she's done. You might be disappointed in what she's done, but you still love her. You still care about the person. If your son does something, or if your best friend does something that's not right, not, that winds them up charged or whatever, you might be disappointed in what they've done. Now, you might say, hey, that's a bridge too far, and that ends our relationship. Like, I'm going to give you, for example, at one time in my life, however crazy and stupid he was, I was friendly with Josh Kimbrell. He was at that time doing things that were completely out of my understanding and out of my knowledge of. And when I found out about those things, instantly I cut that off. There was no like, well, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I said, nope, that's a bridge too far, because I knew he had admitted to them. And I was like, this is a road that I'm not going to walk down with you. And so I cut that off. And if Josh gets out in 15 years, whatever, there's no room in my life for him. I don't wish whatever. Go on, you do your thing, but don't be around me. And, the court system has dealt with it, and God will deal with it. But as far as I'm concerned, I wash my hands with it. I've had other people that have done things, that have been arrested for drugs or OWI or battery or whatever. And I'm like, man, I wish you wouldn't have done that, or that's stupid, but like, we're still friends. Arnett is accused of this. And if it in fact comes out that yes, all of this stuff happened and it was due to his dropping the ball or whatever, I'll be very disappointed in him. I still consider him a friend. I mean, we don't go out to dinner and things like that. I might talk to him once a year or something, in passing, hello, hi, whatever, ask a question here or there. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, just meaning like, I'm going to follow this case, and what happens happens, and we'll see what goes on. We'll just have to see what happens. There's nothing else I can say there. I don't know. This shocks me. I hate to hear this. This stuff doesn't jive with who he is or who he's been. So my question is, why has this stuff happened? What's led up to this stuff happening? I'm interested in that. So time will tell, and we will find out, I guess, together. And I'll keep you guys posted with what happens along that ride. I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it. It is what it is. So that's that. Okay, moving right along, we're getting through it. State Representative Ed Soliday, in a follow-up to yesterday's episode 502. Edward Soliday, man, he has released a statement. Absolutely wild to me. Let me find this here. Oops. Okay, right here we go. So stupid to me here. Let me get you. Give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second here. I'm getting this to load. Do that. Back to it then. Thank you. I'm all set. Let's see it. Where's it at? Give me the thing. Where's Ed Soliday? Give me the story. Okay, here we are. So I told you yesterday how Ed Soliday had allegedly at the time threatened the Portage mayor, Austin Bonta, because Austin Bonta had released a Facebook post saying, number one, citizens of Portage, we understand that you are scared and you are worried about the utility, gas, and energy bills that you guys are getting. They are going up. Austin Bonta has stated that in some cases, people's bills were going up as much as $500 a month. He stated that there was a church whose heat and electric bill went up $1,400 a month. 1 month you're paying $230 for your heat and your electric, and the next month you're paying $1,400. There's no way in hell you can sustain that. That's insane. So the Portage mayor said, first and foremost, we feel your pain. I feel your pain. I'm as angry as you are. But I want you to know there is nothing that we can do outside of advocating for you. The city of Portage does not have control over this. So that's what he said. He said, number two, the people that do have control over this, the Indiana Regulatory Committee on Utilities and da-da-da-da-da, they are appointed. None of them are elected. And he went on to say maybe they should be elected, so they have to answer to the people. Well, Ed, in all of his infinite wisdom, Ed text the mayor and left the mayor a message that says, I want to thank you for your very enlightened comments on the IURC and the rate increases. I am glad you took a stand against any future raises for the NIPSCO linemen and other employees. Now, listen, keep in mind, folks, this text message from Ed Soliday to the mayor is nuts. Okay? It's like pathological. I'm glad you took a stand against any future pay raises for NIPSCO linemen and other employees. I'm additionally thankful that you took a position against meeting the inflationary costs of replacing our aging electric infrastructure. I am most appreciative that you took a strong position to replace the nationally top-rated Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission with an elected board. That way, we could have any fool serve who will pander to those public noise boxes with no qualifications. This is what he thinks about you and me, the citizens. Big mistake, Mayor, all in capital letters. Maybe next time, get the facts before you blow off on public policy. You and Redstone make a heck of a pair. I promise I will work hard to make certain your city never gets any revenue increase. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I just have to tell you, for a state representative to write that, that's just a step way too crazy. It's nuts. I don't know what else to say. Well, Soliday, ladies and gentlemen, has released a statement. So let me read to you this news. State Representative Ed Soliday, Republican from Valparaiso, threatened to take action against City of Portage's finances in a July 28th text message. Mayor Austin Bonta said at a Portage City Council meeting Tuesday. I promise I will work hard to make sure your city never gets any revenue increase, Soliday texted Bonta, according to a screenshot that the mayor shared on Facebook. Bonta, who is also a Republican, told the council he wanted to make the exchange a matter of public record in case Soliday attempted to follow through on the threat during the next year's legislative session or otherwise act against the city. If somebody says, hey, I'm going to move to Portage and run against you because I dislike your views on the commission, that's fine, Bonta said. But making a financial threat against the city, a city of 38,000 people, not all of whom voted for me or always like me, but by the way, but making a financial threat in a way that would impact our police, our firefighters, our utilities, and in particular way from a member of our state legislature, let alone an influential one, is totally unacceptable. As with all Hoosier state municipalities, the majority of Portage's revenue comes from local property tax. The city does, however, frequently receive state grants, including for roadways, maintenances, and other infrastructure projects. Soliday's message was seemingly prompted from a Facebook post made by Bonta earlier on July 28th. In it, the mayor voiced support for adding elected positions to the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission, the state body tasked with reviewing the rate increase sought by the Hoosier State Utilities, among other related duties. The 5-member commission, currently made up of appointees of the governor, recently approved a NIPSCO electric rate increase, the first phase, which was implemented in July. The average residential electric customer will see an increase of approximately $23 per month, or 16.75 increase, according to NIPSCO, the more modest increase than the 32 per month or the 22 per month that they would have seen had the utility's full requested increase been granted by the commission. There's a growing movement in Indiana calling for some or all of the commissioners on the IURC to be elected to their position by Indiana voters, Bonta wrote in the Post. After looking into that idea, I'm also in agreement with that. He pointed to his city's stormwater sewage trash rates, which are controlled by the elected city council, adding that it makes sense to me that on the state level of things like the electric rate across a big stretch of our state would best be handled by at least some elected commissioners. In the message Bonta received from Soliday, who chairs the House Utilities, Energy, and Telecommunication Committee, the state representative wrote to the mayor that he was glad you took a stand against any future raises for NIPSCO linemen and other employees. I'm additionally thankful that you took a position against meeting the inflationary cost of replacing our aging electric infrastructure, the representative continued. I am most appreciative that you took strong positions to replace the nationally top-rated Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission with an elected board. That way we could have any fool who panders to the public noise boxes with no qualification. Big mistake. Bonta told the city council that he hopes that the situation of the bark being worse, that this is a situation of hoping that the bark is worse than the bite. My hope is there's no actual attack made against our city, either by an actual legislator action or an attempt or indirectly by Mr. Soliday or any member of our state legislature, regardless of what they think about NIPSCO's rate increase or who has the authority to approve or deny them, Bonta said. The mayor told the Times on Wednesday that he has not responded directly to Soliday's message because it contained a blatant threat. I felt that would be, participating in trying to negotiate down a threat that should not have happened, he said. Bonta added that he has not heard back from Soliday in the days that he has since received the threat. Okay. In a statement to the Times on Wednesday, Soliday wrote that his remarks were offhand and not intended literally, but do concern a very real issue important to our communities and state. So Soliday's saying this was offhand? What does that mean? And not intended literally? Well, how do you figure that out, what he meant figuratively? Like, I don't understand what it means figuratively. If those comments were not meant literally, then I don't know what he meant. And he's probably not in a position where he should be sitting in the seats that he holds. It's absolutely crazy to me that is his response. It would have been much better, in my opinion, for Soliday to say, you know what, it was late at night, I was cranky, and I said something I shouldn't have, and but if he would have done that, he should have apologized. I don't know. I mean, to me, this comment here is nuts, because he's attempting to just be like, look, I didn't mean it, no big deal. No. No, this is a big problem. He apparently went on to say, we know people are being impacted by high energy costs, and we've worked incredibly hard over the last several years to protect ratepayers while ensuring that we can meet the energy demands of our residents and growing economy. So Soliday wrote, I remain focused on this critical issue to keep the lights on in our region and state at the lowest possible cost to Hoosiers. Well, let me tell you, buddy. Let me tell you. Soliday shouldn't be sitting where he is now. But this comment should definitely be a wake-up call to the citizens of his district. They should absolutely say that this man is unhinged, and if he feels like you have went against him in some slight, he's willing to use the power of his seat to threaten you, To threaten a lot of you? To threaten an entire city or region? No. To hell with that. Totally insane. And the fact that he can say, well, that was just offhand and not intended literally, to me, I think that's nuts. Just absolutely nuts. And I think that the state house, the powers that be, the establishment, the leadership of the house needs to look at slapping his hands for this. I mean, this is such a gross overstepping of what his role is as a representative. Is crazy. Well, Kate says, what are his qualifications regarding energy? Looking at his bio, he was an airline pilot and executive for 35 years. Man, that's scary. He gets somebody on the airplane that he just doesn't like, so he flies it into the mountain. That's crazy. I tried reaching out to Soliday. Someone gave me his phone number and I texted him, but I've not received a message back. So we'll wait and see if he responds or not. I don't know. We'll keep you followed. We'll keep following this and keep you up to date with what goes on there. Okay, that brings us to our last topic, and my eyes are just about falling out of my head, so we're going to get through this quickly, and we're going to call it a night. Lastly, Vice President J.D. Vance was in Indiana, and it was more or less a secret meeting. They met. It was really crazy. People, they wouldn't let anybody know when they were going to meet. They cleared Governor Braun's calendar. He got there. He talked with Braun. He talked with Braun, Rod Bray, and Todd Houston, and a couple of other leadership positions. And it was basically a secret meeting. Braun came out and said the same thing Braun always says. We listened. It was a very good meeting. He was very non-committal about the redistricting, just totally nonsensical. He described the conversation as pretty good. It was great to meet with Vice President Vance. We discussed a number of issues, and I was pleased to highlight some of the great things happening in Indiana. Bray and Houston, neither one answered any questions. And I guess we're just going to have to sit around and wait with our thumbs up our asses. I guess when he calls for a special session, we'll know, something's happening. This is not transparency, people. They should have had the media in part of the meeting. They should have had more people in as part of the meeting, and we should have known what was happening. The fact that they were able to meet behind closed doors and come out and say, nothing to see here, is just not how government should work in 2025. And like all of the other stories this evening, we will follow this. I will be on this. I've got an email out to the kind of the spokesperson for Braun, asking for a little bit of a breakdown of the items discussed. I have not heard back anything on that. So as soon as we get something back, I will post that. Any of these stories I've talked about, when I receive something, I will post all of that out on social media. If you're not following me on social media, on Facebook or X, you are missing out, because that's where I post all of the communications. I post all of the stories and post all of that stuff. So if you're not following that, you really should be, because that's where we do it. You can find those there. Whoops, sorry, that was me. You can find that there. Facebook.com. That's Political Spotlight 318, Bilbrey 318. You can find it there. The Twitter account or X account is x.com, Bilbrey Live. And that's where you can find all of that. That's also got the studio line and our 2 email addresses. So you should be following us there if you aren't. Also, if you haven't liked this video yet, that's why I still have a headache and we're getting ready to shut down, because you haven't liked this enough. So give us a like, subscribe if you haven't. It's Thursday, which means we're more than likely off tomorrow and Saturday. Just the way the week's gone, it's possible something could kick off crazy tomorrow or something could happen and we'd go live Saturday. If we go live, more than likely it would be tomorrow than Saturday. Normally it's the other way around, but if we go live, it'll be tomorrow, but it's only like a 10 or 15% chance. More than likely, we will not. I will tell everyone you can just plan on seeing us Sunday, but if we go live, I will post it out to social media. You will know by 4 or 5 tomorrow. If you don't hear anything by 4 or 5, we're not going live. We'll see you Sunday. All right. God bless to each and every one of you. Really quickly, on our way out, to answer the question that Michael asked, where does the recycling money go for the city of Muncie? It all goes to the Muncie Sanitary District. That doesn't actually go to the city of Muncie. It goes to the Muncie Sanitary District. They're 2 different bodies. So that answers that. And then to answer Kiff, we are working very hard to get the commercials under control. Please just bear with us. We will get it worked out. I have reached out to our source, or not a source, to my guy at the at YouTube, and I'm waiting to figure out how we can fix that to stop that. So I apologize, but we will deal with it. So you guys take care. Have a good evening. God bless each and every one of you. We'll see you back here Sunday, and we'll go from there. Good night.